Irvine since 1997. I bought my first home here. I moved my family here. All my kids go through the Irvine public school, and I love Irvine dearly. My kids also go to the Irvine Assembly. They also attend the Chinese school here, and they also attend the NOCC, the children's choir here. So if I see the city of Irvine in the decline in the past 10 years, I feel like I have the knowledge, ability, and expertise to stop the decline and push the city to go out again. If I do not do that, it actually gets to me. This is a great city. I want to help and improve it. I'm running for the mayor of Irvine to make the city better. My platform is one vision with three focus. The vision is turn Irvine into a real first-class city, but still maintain its many unique features, such as being the safest city in the nation, many parks and green space, and also a very relaxing family ranch feeling. Under this vision, I have three focus. Number one is traffic. We really need to use some creative and holistic approach to alleviate the traffic problem. Number two is to manage and control our growth. Number three is education. Education is good, but it could be better. Also, Mayor of Irvine is also the chairman for the Great Park. I am a licensed architect. I have a lot of experience in design and construction. I can help you, the taxpayer, to protect your money, to say no to special interest and really build a great park. On November 8th, please vote for me. I'll be honored to have your vote. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is and I'm happy to be here today. I'm not sure I can use my voice and tell you that I'm very pleased to be here today. Thank you very much for hosting us, South Coast Community Cultural Center. I moved to the city in 1968 and was honored to be part of the city right at its incorporation at the end of 1971. I was on the Planning Commission the very first time in 1973 when we actually decided on our general plan looking towards the future of this great city. As you know, the beginning of the city was educational. It was the University of California, Irvine. And from that idea of education and creativity and learning came this idea of a master plan new town. I served on the city council in the 70s and the 80s. I've also served on the planning commission, and currently I'm a planning commissioner. And I'm very pleased to be able to have a role in many of the designs of your neighborhoods and your homes. But now we've reached our population cap that we thought about so long ago in 1973. We've reached the 250,000 population cap. In fact, we're at 259. And we're keep growing. And in the last 4 years, under the current mayor, we have added 15,000 persons per year to our population. We cannot sustain that. Overdevelopment hurts our property values. We must take a time out and decide that this growth and development is not good for our city. Thank you.
Next, we move to question and answer. You have a 30 seconds to answer a question. So first, Irvine is one of the fastest growing cities in America. What do you see as being the challenges from the growth?
The challenge is to really control our growth. We cannot stop our growth completely, but we need to make sure our infrastructure can match our growth. There's a lot of things we can do together. For example, we can do a better job in master planning. There's a village concept in the original City of Irvine planning, but this village concept has been destroyed by the new development. We used to have shopping, school, and everything within the village. That's a good way to reduce the traffic.
In order to deal with the traffic problem, we have to deal with overdevelopment. I'm the only mayoral candidate that is calling for a serious look at the residential development. If we don't do that, we lose who we are. We lose our soul. And so, as I walk door to door and I talk with people at their doorstep, they tell me there's too much traffic, the schools are overcrowded, we no longer have the ratio of police and residents. We must stay the safest city. We must look at our growth in residential areas.
Next question starts with Mary Ann. Yes. In your judgment, is Irvine sticking to the master plan? If not, what will you do about it?
The master plan called for a population cap of 250,000. And so over the years, we have changed our general plan, but the current City Council has increased the general plan to 10,000 additional units. And there are movements afoot to add additional. I will not allow a general plan change without a vote of the people.
I think the new development in the past 10 years has destroyed the original master plan, which was put forward by another fellow architect, William Pereira. So we really need to go back and revisit our master, make sure new development has to be evaluated before they can be approved. That's very important. For example, in the old Irvine Village, it's a good community because everything is within the neighborhood and it's a good way to reduce the traffic. But Potter Spring is not a good example because we focus the shopping in a huge shopping center instead of spreading them out.
So this question also from the audience. Start with you. What will you do to improve safety in Irvine, including traffic safety?
First of all, to get the community involved, we need to form more neighborhood watch groups to continue to improve our safety, which we have been proud of. And for traffic safety, we need to educate our new immigrants, make sure they follow the rule of traffic, because I'm also following the social media. There's a lot of people that have not been doing complete stop in Woodbury area. There's a lot of things we can do. We can use different language that the new immigrant can understand. Make sure they follow the rules of the traffic.
Once again, residential growth control has to deal with safety. We no longer have one police officer per 100,000 population. We are growing out of balance because we are growing our population too fast. And so, in order to stay the #1 safest city in the nation, I'm suggesting that we slow down the rate of growth in the city of Irvine.
Next question, start with Marianne. New Chinese immigrants face challenges such as understanding the political process, overcoming language barriers, and utilizing city services. What action will you take to help them with these issues?
I would like to promote the idea of having the City of Irvine Human Relations Commission, similar to the Orange County Human Relations Commission, that works with our immigrant population and connects new immigrants with the kind of services that they need, promotes dialogue, promotes understanding among our communities. We are the most diverse community in the nation, and I think we're very proud of that.
We can do a better job. I was here for the earlier City Council forum. One of the good ideas that come up from the forum is to do an interracial, intercultural committee. I think that's a good idea. In the meantime, we can also use social media like WeChat, a lot of Chinese people use, to spread a lot of message to our Chinese community. For the important decision that we need to make for the city, we need to use different language to inform the people of our community, because there's a lot of information decisions that was made in the past couple of years.
Next question from the audience. I start with Dan. What will you do to address race tensions in Irvine? What are starting to raise?
You mean the racial tension?
Yes.
Racial tension is one of the important issues that we need to deal with. I think Irvine has a good example of welcoming people from all over the world, different racial backgrounds here, and kind of melt everybody into the same Americans that we always want to be. We continue to do the Global Village is one of the good ways to bring everybody together. The more people talk to each other, understand each other, the more we can kind of get along well, instead of like Islamophobia, that kind of stuff.
And An Irvine Human Relations Commission can work to build bridges among the various communities in our city. And also I'd like to support the arts. It's a way in which all communities come together without languages, but have the language of visual art and performing art and dance and poetry and flower arranging. So it is my feeling that we should really support the arts in the community of Irvine.
Next question, we'll start with Marianne again. Tell us about your experiences attending an event at our culture center or sponsored by SCCA in the last 3 years.
Well, thank you. I've been to the lunar festivals here at the cultural center. I've been part of many holidays, traditions, and I must say that it is very endearing to me to be able to have new holidays, and my children agree with me. We not only get to celebrate our holidays, but with the new residents of the city, we have so many more. So thank you very much for enriching our lives.
I will agree with Marianne. SCCA has done a great job of celebrating the Chinese culture here, and actually I attend almost every one of your culture for the Spring Festival. And my kids actually perform in the band dance and so on at the different Chinese cultural festival. My Amy, Angela, Latina, they all perform in the cultural festival. They all attend Chinese school here. Thank you very much.
The next question start with Ben. What do you believe is the biggest challenge in the development of a great park, and how do you plan to solve these challenges?
Two issues. One is we need to really watch the tax money. If you look at my website, there's a grand jury report. $251 million was totally wasted by some of the previous mayor and city council. Number two is the cemetery issue. I want to make sure the cemetery is put at a location not just for the residents, but good for everybody. There's two locations. I think the second location is much better, but in the end, it's up to different parties come together to find the best solution for everybody.
The greatest challenge at our great park is the privatization of our land. We have over 1,200 acres that belong to you, the community of Irvine. This is a wonderful opportunity for all of us. It should not, may I repeat, it should not be privatized for the profit of one company or two companies. This must remain with the public in perpetuity.
The next question, we'll start with Marianne again. There are more and more Chinese people in Irvine. How would you encourage them to be more involved in Irvine politics?
Well, thank you. I've met several young women as they entered the room today, and I am pledging that as mayor of Irvine, I will mentor youngsters and be involved in the day-to-day openings in the city, happenings in the city of Irvine, and certainly will keep my door open to anyone that wants to visit with me in the mayor's office.
I will have several solutions for this. One is provide a cultural and language assistance to new immigrants. There's another issue that's very important, is voter registration. The Asian population, at least more than half of the citizens have been many of the Asian immigrants that have been citizens for many years. They have not registered voter, which is a big problem. We want to make sure that all the new immigrants will register to vote, and actually vote, and also participate in running for the office like I'm doing right now. Thank you.
This is the last question. What initiative will you take to make sure our city is environmentally friendly?
You are asking the right person. I'm a licensed architect. I have published 26 books. Many of the books is on green building, LEED, and sustainable design and development. I'm all for green building, all for environmental friendly design. I can use a lot of my experience and expertise to help the city to move toward more environmentally friendly and more green city. A lot of things we can do together. Thank you.
As mayor, I would rejoin the Mayors Against Climate Change and make sure that climate change is at the forefront of any policies that we take. This is very serious. If we want to leave a city to our children and our grandchildren, we have to take this seriously. We have to be 100% emission-free in the future. So we need to make sure that we look at all the policies throughout the city and begin to make sure that climate change is not a death sentence for our children.
Thank you, Dan and Marianne. This concludes the mayoral session. We're going to move on to the cash drawing again.
Let's go talk to candidates.
Thank you，谢谢哈。那我们知道大家想要抽那个300块的现金哈，在那之前我们要谢谢我们的维尔湾，我们这次办的这个活动，谢谢维尔湾的志海、郑总、
let's go talk to candidates real quick. Let's go talk to
那我们要谢
people
谢我
talk
们
to us.
很多年轻的高中生，他们就在这个活动里面帮大家的忙。
No, it's just video.
Youth Voting Involvement Association, give them a big hand. Thank you for their hard work. 然后现在呢，我们就要来抽这个 cash 300块了。OK, over to Albert.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So this is an important moment, right? Let's show the
So mine was earlier. I went first in the school board forum debate, and then we
all
had
right.
city council.
So now, again, the same way. Take out your driver's
This is
license.
Abe. He's actually assistant for Chen.
$300. Take out your driver's license.
And then
You want to prove it, huh?
Marianne's over there. Is it real? No, you can't see it. It's backwards.
Take it to the bank. Absolutely.
So you can watch the drawing.
The last number of your driver's license.
3.
3.
Please stand up.
Okay, please stand up.
Maybe come to front.
Okay, come
Climate
to the
change.
front. That would be great. Come on,
Let's go talk to Marianne. Let's go talk to Marianne. So there's Marianne.
All right.
Yeah. I know, right? So there's Marianne.
Okay, we have the 3, the second number,
Thank you.
the second last number, 6. 3, the second number 6, the 6, 3. That's it. Okay, we got a winner.
No, it's a.
Thank you, everybody.
People watching us
Thank
live.
you for your attention.
I always say you can fake a photo on social media, you can fake a video, you can fake a debate. You can't fake live. They can ask you questions directly. I do this, I'll do this for 30 minutes straight. Answer voters' questions. You can buy as much signs as you want, you do many mailers you want. Nothing as effective as actually one-on-one communication. People can sit at home, they can ask questions to them. Honestly.
A big problem with California is friendliness towards small business. Unfortunately, this state will get slaughtered as a small business owner. I don't know if that's something that Irvine can improve on its own.
I hope so. That's more of a city council issue. At school board, yeah.
I'd like to see more, if there's a way to bring more. My stepdaughter goes to Montessori at Springfield Elementary. And if there's a way to bring the Montessori program to some of the others, I've noticed in Springfield Elementary, they have a really good population that I'm sure is able to get into schools actually in terms of arts. I'd like to see other schools with the Montessori program because it doesn't teach to the lowest common denominator.
Awesome. So, are you good for me?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you.
You already made that.
So, how was it? Are you okay? Good. Okay.
The honesty of, I don't know everything about everything.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, the other candidates were like, I know all this, I know this, yeah.
The guy that says he knows everything seldom does.
Yeah, the only thing I'm like solid on is the Supreme Court. It's like, they know not to argue technical points of view.
I'm big on school safety. I talk to the police about some things they can do.
Well, we talk about safety, we talk about, I always make it easy. Say, let's talk about most likely, most catastrophic. Most catastrophic, earthquake, fire, terror, shooting, right? Most likely, we really is most deadly is car crash. Automotive traffic safety around school drop-offs. We got to fix that like right now. And the city council has 3 traffic engineers. We can use for free. And they told the district you can use our traffic engineers for free to redesign the school drop-offs. All the district has to do is ask. And they will work directly for the principals and fix the school drop-off. It takes about an hour.
I pick up and drop off my stepdaughter at the Springfield Elementary. And I've seen the crossing guards almost get run over at jail and across the street.
Yeah, and one thing I want to do is I want to give all the crossing guards and staff radios, police radios, because they don't have to call 911. They can just switch to a different channel, go direct to the police, say this is Woodbury Elementary, send help now. They can be there like 30 seconds to a minute for nearby, versus calling 911, go through a dispatch, and
Ring.
I'm military police, so are you. Oh yeah, he's a military police guy too. You been a desk sergeant? You ever a desk sergeant? That's the worst job in the world. I've gotten 10 911 calls at once. You're like, what do I do? Anyway, I'm done. My arm's getting tired, so I'm gonna say goodbye, everybody. I'm gonna say hi. Take care.